All this is Dr. Mobeen Sayed from drbeen.com. Welcome to one more show. So this is a chit chat and let's talk type of chat. I actually was going to skip today because I would just explain that I spent the whole day working on a couple of audits thing. I think you must be getting tired of Mobeen and audits. I am also getting tired of audits, but that is the reality of life. However, I wanted to have this discussion because tomorrow is Algebra Bean's birthday. So I wanted to come in and say happy birthday to Algebra Bean. And I also saw Eric in the last video so, talk. So hopefully Eric is here as well. So happy to have him back. Augie says FSC team interview. So Augie, I did not get it. So team interview. What do you mean? Elaborate. Meanwhile, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Check this out. Cindy is here as well. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Check this out. Facebook blocked me today. And it's not about COVID. There's no conspiracy here. And I don't blame them as well. They blocked me for Dr. Mark Levitt's discussions about the pelvic reconstruction surgeries in the children. So, of course, there were some images that were for medical education. We have to work with those images, understand them, and then there are surgeons who work on those patients as well. These are life-saving surgeries, and these patients are in life-threatening situations. But of course, Facebook did not understand it. Although I am kind of surprised, Facebook is filled with videos that are just disturbing. People being killed are on the Facebook video, in the Facebook videos. Anyways, so Facebook decided that, hey, this is not good. You are talking medical thing which we do not understand, so we're just going to block you. So here is what they did. Mubin Sayed account restricted. You can't go live for 25 days. This is what was happening. Remember yesterday I was trying to go live and I was getting kicked out. So now I found out you can't go live for 25 days. You cannot advertise for 25 days. Your group posts will be moved lower in the feed for 25 days. So punishment is here. Punishment is abound at this time. So now, talking about the punishments, I want to discuss with you just a very quick one that so far till today, what has happened? Just I'm going to delete this chat anyways. So here is what has happened. Number one, complaint to my college saying Mubin is an impersonator of a doctor. College, that's one. Went okay, spoke with the principals or his representative and his team and got a certificate. Actually, I am so grateful to one of our professors who is now a principal in another college. When he heard about it, and how did he hear about it? Because there were complaints that were sent to him as well. Because he used to be on these chats sometime, and I would say that my teacher is here, someone found his information and sent him a note saying Mubin is declaring or claiming to be your student, so set the record right and ask him to stop doing this. So he, when he saw that, he actually helped me. He went from a different state to my college. My college is KEMU. It used to be KEMC, King Edward Medical College. We just used to call it KE. And it was associated, this was Pakistan's best college, and it was associated with a hospital which was Pakistan's largest hospital, Mayo Hospital. These were actually set up when British folks were ruling the Indo-Pak areas or Indian subcontinent. So KE was the best college, Mayo was the best hospital. That is where I was educated. So when he heard about these complaints, he actually went from a different state to this college and he got all the record, made copies of them, sent these over to me. Then YouTube, 54 videos. Some of you may remember there was a tweet I said 54 videos in one day demonetized. In one day. So someone was given this order to go find in my channel. My channel has thousands of videos. Medical education since 2010, I believe. And someone was given an order to say, go find videos and just remove them. So hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, vitamin D, Dr. Paul Marek, Dr. Corey, there were tons of videos that in one night they demonetized. Then YouTube. After 8 months, so there was a video on YouTube with me and Dr. Corey, stayed up for 8 months. After 8 months, so of course somebody complained. These YouTube responds with complaints. So you go to YouTube and say, I don't like what Mobeen said over here. I think this is really not good. Then they do a review, manual review. And then in that manual review, if they think they agree with you, then they'll take the video down. So here, YouTube, Dr. Corey's video with me, a permanent strike. Permanent strike. You get 3 strikes, your channel is out. Permanent strike. That is YouTube. You're just looking at Facebook today, but I am kind of sympathetic towards Facebook's behavior that they have no idea what medical education is. I would like to claim that they have no idea what medical education is. And because of that, they cannot really assess what is medical education. They, it seems like, cannot assess many other things too. But this is, I understand. So Facebook for the first time. Then Twitter. Did you see a few days ago, one of my tweet was declared misinformation, and people could not like or reply and stuff like that. So Twitter has taken their turn as well. Audits. Medical boards reaching out, saying, people are telling us you are an impersonator. And I'm saying, dudes, what are you saying? Impersonator, here is my degree, here is my certificate, here who I am. And then fortunately, they are reasonable enough to come back and say, okay, fine, we see it. Thank you very much. Move on. Medical boards. This is a mission. This is a set of people who are doing it. And it blows my mind that there are people whose mission is this, to just continuously chug along to bother others. So that. Then the community enforcement departments reaching out to me that somebody complained that you are running something here illegal. And I received this call when I was in a car traveling, and I said, you know what, I am outside of my home right now. Why don't, in my absence, why don't you go to my home and see what have I done? And they said, no, we're not going to go to your home like this. But anyways, they then did their process and audit and asked me questions and stuff, and then they said, okay, good. Then I think you're aware of people who were expressing their desires to remove me from the face of this earth in various ways. And then today, I was, since the morning, this is why I was actually not going to do a talk, but I just could not figure out why would I not do a talk. At the end of the day, this is what people want to do. They want me to become quiet, or they want me to have so much damage that I would say this is not worth it. So this morning, I was providing documents to one auditor, and this afternoon, I was providing documents to another auditor. So audit, more audit. Provided these documents, and this auditor said, I need some more documents. So he gave me till 11th to produce some more. This auditor, this auditor, and I'm deliberately not telling you who these are. This auditor is so ridiculous that they are, for example, saying that you use the word important and IMP interchangeably, and they are two different things. Really, this is the audit objection is, well, you use the word important and then you said IMP interchangeably. They're different things, which they're not. This is a contraction. IMP is a contraction of important. IMP can be a contraction of many other things, but within the context of a lecture or an article or a book or whatever, when an author, a speaker, says that here is the word important and I'm going to use IMP from now on, they become connected. This is how the scientific literature is written, filled with um, contractions. This was the objection based of what on which, and this is also the same auditor who kind of uh, interpreting them, who had a problem me drawing eyes on the faces of these characters and cells. They are. This is how weird things are. And so, of course, today was a special day. For the first time in my life, I was busy in a different audit in the morning and a different audit in the evening, in the afternoon. And so, of course, I didn't have enough time to prepare for lectures. I hope last video was useful, valuable. I hope people would watch it. I hope they'll share it, and so I can at least see some result of the work. But that is how my day was. So with this, happy birthday to Algebra Bean once more. The basic, what the people who are complaining, what they do not know about me is that I have led a life with lots of difficulties, and I learned to continue to work through the difficulties and continue to move forward. I was actually thinking about that today, that it could have been that if it was someone else with this number of continuous barrage, and there is actually it is not just this that, hey, YouTube said your video cannot play. There is real financial damage that has occurred. And I'm just waiting for these audits to finish so I am more at liberty to discuss some of those. But there is a real financial damage. So I was thinking that there are some people sitting somewhere to say, we should work to shut his business down. We should work to get him discredited. We should work to not have him have food. This is what people are thinking to do. And so they are going through all of these various mechanisms to try to do it. And here I am. This is with your support, with your friendship. We It is so interesting that we went together on this journey for COVID to see how well can we protect ourselves. So while you were going through that journey with me, I was going through another journey of how to protect myself from these folks as well. So this is what was happening. And so I'll tell you this, I would get so many times this thought in my head to quit. I would think, you know what? Done. The best way is to just stop. So people would become comfortable, the ones who are upset, and they would pick up their bags, go and bother someone else. But then the question is, if people just start quitting like this, then slowly we would all quit. Then there will be no one to move forward. So every single time, one big support has been, of course, this community, interacting with this community every day, sitting down together, talking with each other, having fun with each other while a crisis is around us, and we are navigating like a caravan through that. That was in itself a huge support. And then my wife has always been, whenever I'll go to her and I'll say, you know what, I think it's too much, and there is too much of stress, and there are financial implications, and it's worrisome, she would say, keep going. So, Colin, thank you. Hit the likes, only about a third have likes. Yes. But don't hit the like twice, just hit it once. Jody says, I think a lot of people had a lot of battles beyond health due to COVID in these times. Yeah, absolutely. And one big thing that I have always thought about is overall, in these 2 years, my little set of these complaints and audits is nothing. What happened to me is nothing when you look at people who are losing family members, people who are dying, people who are becoming impacted for their lives. Even when they're alive, they have outcomes that are going to chase them for the rest of their life. So I thought I'll give you more details and colors at some other point when these audits are over and I can talk more freely about them. But this is what is happening. Charles Davis says, Charles don't say that I have often wanted to say this to you, but didn't want to make you think I was trolling. I hope there is something good. Okay. Uh, so, John, I have that book. Actually, Dr. Paul Merrick sent me that book. I haven't yet finished it. John Snyder says, I missed the beginning. John, it is actually a fun beginning. This one today was just the things that had been happening. And so I love poetry. I love arts, as you can tell. So one of the poem, or a ghazal we call it in Urdu or Indian, Hindi, Farsi, meaning that continental area, we call it ghazal. One of the duet there, the two verses, is um, रहा खटका ना चोरी का दुआ देता हूँ रहजन को. What it means is, I am not afraid of being robbed anymore because thankfully a thief has taken everything already. So I am kind of free of the possessions to worry for. So I was talking with someone that there is actually, as much as people thought there is a negative out of it, there is a positive. That when a state board sends me a message saying all good, so now they have done their investigation and they've come back and they said, yeah, you're good. Correct. Nothing left to lose. So Augie says, will you have FLCCC team on the discussion anytime soon? Yes. Actually, there is an interesting news as well, which is not yet open, but don't tell anyone. I will actually be working in certain parts for long COVID with their team as well. Yogi Jaya says, we love you, Dr. Bean, from the Dotty girls. Love you back. Yes, absolutely. Happy Valley Farm says, can you draw lots of more eyes, please? Absolutely. So, since then, when they said, well, your lectures are not good enough for the physicians because you have this cartoony style. Um, since then, I started making more and more eyes. And believe me, I get so many doctors who say that they benefit from these talks. It's really at the end of the day, my mission was, could I present medicine in this simple, easy, recallable, entertaining way that becomes something that we would remember. And it doesn't matter who is a professional physician or not, these things are actually entertaining, useful for everyone. Actually, doctors have a larger set of concepts to retain. So it actually is more important for them to know these things and have them kind of just stick in their mind. And if we can do this little making eyes and and saying, hey, would this help you remember, then more power to the eyes. Look at that. So this little thing now has multiple eyes. Maybe one of the eyes should be all red. Okay, two eyes. So he has conjunctivitis in two eyes. Anyways, Linda, this has been, and this is not new. This has actually been going since I started talking about these things. So those cool beans who have been with me for 1.5 years or more, they probably remember that I used to say that my voice is not big. I don't make lots of ripples. Don't know why people are upset. However, I have come to understand that this is life. This is what happens. Doesn't matter your voice is big or small. If you have human beings around you with agendas, then there is going to be friction. Mr. E says, laughing my ass off. So Nathan says, and all the other questions combined from every question on this planet, Dr. Bean, anyone who has been COVID vaccinated should we worry about them donating blood? So we know that some of the blood donation organizations do not accept blood donation soon after the vaccination, and that is probably because of the antibodies present, which in some people can cause inflammatory reaction. So other than that, donating blood is fine. So Koda says, why can't we all? I don't think that we can all get together. This is since the beginning of humanity. What my understanding is, as soon as there is an agenda, and everyone has an agenda, and then there is a push behind that agenda to say, I need to get my agenda done, then there is conflict. Thank you, Susan. Thank you very much. So I just regret one thing. During this time when the onslaught of audits and complaints was too hot, in those days I became very confused as to what is it that I can talk about and what is it that I cannot talk about. And what should I be calling myself? I am a doctor, but am I not allowed to be calling myself a doctor? So that is the time when you may have noticed I've started saying MBBS, or I've started saying don't practice here. But, anyways, uh, so there were bumps in the road. And I regret that time because my focus was diverted. And this is what I like. There was a European scholar who had said that for a person who is serving for that person to lift their head up and look around is criminal because it takes their attention away from their work. Claude says you should share your experience and see if there are common elements from legal reasons. Yeah. Amanda says, I commented on your last video about my situation. I haven't been listened to. I'm sorry, I would see. The comments are usually brutal as well. So I have just stopped looking at comments, but I'll see if I can. Yes. Charles says, you also taught me about Novavax. Yes. We taught, we studied Novavax and such things together. John says, buy Dr. Bean Special and become a lifer. This is how we can help. Absolutely. Zara says, hi, can you do how people are able to connect to Bluetooth? Uh, that's an interesting topic. Texas says, how can we help you? Just let's keep going together. You look at my video, click on it, let it play for a few minutes. That is one way to help. But just being your presence here, you being here yourself, that in itself is a huge help. Algebra says, thank you for keeping me protected and well, Dr. Bean. You save lives. Thank you very much. And Algebra, happy birthday. Thoughts on Novavax. So, Novavax, I love. Although there have been a couple of comments in the recent days that have been saying that, hey, can we understand more about the Novavax related side effects? So, I will do a discussion of those. Brad says you're the Bob Ross of medicine. Thank you very much. So, with this, I know that here, if I look at the number of people, there are 710 people watching. So, I don't want to waste your time. I'm just chit chatting about things. So, maybe I should stop and we would come back tomorrow and we will then continue. I have a lot of more things to discuss. So, please stay safe, happy, healthy. We have come this far, we are almost out of it. So keep your guard up, whatever makes you comfortable for protecting yourself. Do that, stay safe, happy, and healthy. And like, subscribe, and share. In this video's description, there are links. This, I have to talk about these links. One of them is a discounted price to the premium membership on drbeen.com. And so, and I didn't tell you, one of the auditors have actually stopped me, banned me from putting COVID content on my site. Anyways, that's the life. So the remaining 800,000 lectures, premium, beautiful lectures, I've been producing them since 2010. They are there. Buy them. There's a link. And in addition to this, there are links to buy me a coffee or use PayPal or to become a patron. Thank you very much. And uh, chin up. Let's keep moving forward. We'll see each other tomorrow and we will go from there. Thank you.